Dana Oet has sailor hands. I am about to walk into the woods. Conifer hands. My grandfather's hands. I stare at a heap of charcoal surrounded by a ring of stones. These are the bones of a once fierce fire. I choose a piece of charcoal from the top of the heap. I find a log and etch the first line of a poem into the parched surface. The summer is asphalt. The charcoal crumbles under my fingers, leaving a dry residue under my nails, as if I had been working in the garden. When I was 7, Dana Oet guided my wrists with his strong grip. I raised a cooking fire under his direction. That evening, the smell of hot dogs drifted up from the picnic tables in his yard. The meat was soft between my lips, and juice squirted on my chin when I bit in. I rise from the log and wander down a path of scattered stones, looking for the beginnings of a path, the entrance into the woods. On the way, I stop to gently squeeze the leaves of firs. I remembered the feel of his soft palms on the back of my hand. As I walk around, sweat collects behind my eyelids, and they thicken in the sun like mud. I catch myself blinking quickly and wipe an eye with my pinky. I blink more and move on. Some minutes later, I reach the entrance. The path is rocky and framed by knotted trees like a doorway leading into darkness. I make a step to walk inside, then stop. I lower my foot and turn around. The sun rests on my eyelashes. I remember feeling like wax as the heat licked my face. Dana Oet has soft, leafy palms and twig fingers covered with calluses. A shadow drifts over the forest path, and I mistake it for the shadow of a kite. Leaves blow overhead. I walk past fallen branches, bare, like broken electrical wires. The branches twist terribly. They have become vines. I stop by a perfect climbing tree, consider it, and move on. I am too heavy now. In addition, I want to preserve the sense of peace. I don't want to break any branches, those branches that look so much like arms. Patches of sky, like blue stars, peek through the trees. The trees are bare, but still alive, I know. I can't help thinking of fossils. Dana Oet has very little hair on his body. I reach a clearing full of tall, dreamy grass. Slowly cattails sway in the swirling breeze, beckoning me through the narrow path. As I weave between the waving walls, a cattail brushes my elbow, the color of straw. I eye a group of red berries, teardrops small, dangling from a vine. The sun lights them brilliantly, so that they become a part of the sun. I touch one and think of embers skirting up from a fire, stopped in mid-flight. I think of Baba Bella's garden and her large, luscious tomatoes. I have been scared for a while now. I follow the trail into the forest. When did the dirt turn to mud? Crab apples are scattered over the ground. One is split open, farm green exterior and deep red inside. Once when I was young, Dana Oet pulled up a weed, roots and all from the garden, Baba Bella's garden. He said, "These are the roots." In a ditch made by a tractor, it must have went deep in mud and backed out. There is a golden pool of water. I put my fingers in and I think of the distinct feel of sun-warmed cider against my skin. Flies skirt above the ditch, occasionally dipping into the surface and jerking above it. Their ripples are soft and don't even reach the sides. The ditch is 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 7 feet long. Dana Oet, 6 foot tall, strong, thick Dana Oet could fit in it. I shiver, but bend in closer, until my nose is nearly level with the surface. Small roots extend out from the sides of the ditch. Thousands of tiny white hairs float lifelessly, detached from the arms of the roots. I can see Baba Bella's tractor making marks in mud, See her going down the path as if the whole woods were her garden. I can see her checking the leaves for disease or frailty, forcefully uprooting any plant that looked unhealthy. I can see her wearing her sleeveless kitchen apron, working with brown wrists and white knuckles. I have a vivid memory from around the time I was 10. I was sitting in my grandparents' kitchen, and humid air floated through the open sliding glass doors. The doors were always open in the summer. I was eating a bowl of raspberries, fresh from Baba Bella's garden, minutes ago picked and washed especially for me. Then a small, white spider crawled out from between the tiny hairs of a raspberry. I think I wanted to cry. Instead, I just tipped the bowl upside down in the sink, letting the red berries fall over the drain. I spent hours washing the juice out of my skin. I guess right and wrong didn't exist at my grandparents' house. There was my Dada Adik and Baba Bella, and there was me. There were rarely butterflies at my grandparents' house. I felt frail things weren't allowed. I thought of the spider and felt I was very frail. Dada Adik doesn't care about spiders. But I'm so scared. I'm scared now. More than a child knows how to be scared. I grew up every summer under the familiar roof of the house Dada Adik built by hand, shielded from the darker sides of life. Whenever something broke in the kitchen, out came the broom. Baba Bella was always there to sweep the bad things up. Dada Adik was always there to gently relocate a daddy longlegs with his conifer hands. Summer, I remember, was always so golden. I fear for the future. I'm not ready to face the darker patches of the world, so I hold on to the memories. A thin, delicate carpet of red, dead pine needles covers the disgusting dirt. The blue sky is interspersed with clouds behind a fence of branches.